Hi there, I'm Ben Porchuk. I'm an ecologist with Carolinian Canada. It's a really exciting day. It's April the 7th, and it's the 4th annual Go Wild, Grow Wild Green Expo. Carolinian Canada is the host, and we've got so many different vendors today, and it's an amazing place to be. We've got people that are experts in native plants and ecology. We've got people that know all about outdoor adventure, green living. It just goes on and on. We've got an electric vehicle here. Lots to learn, lots of things to get, and it really is the place to go when there's that expert that you know that's out there, but you don't know how to find them. Everything related to ecology, green living, it's all here. And we're going to highlight some of the booths now to just show you how a lot of this unique information and this amazing opportunity is right here in the City of London. In previous years, we've had several thousand people, but to me, I think this is one of the best years of all. I haven't seen so many.
We've gotten lots of memberships, lots of signups, sold plenty of books, and the In the Zone program has just been going gangbusters. So people they're really interested in native plants, really finding where to get native plants and then how to get them into their gardens effectively.
Native plants offer so many benefits, from rebuilding urban ecosystems to connecting rural systems that have been disjunct for so long. And it's an amazing opportunity to get the plants here, not just because they're here for sale, but because the experts are here that know so much about the plants. What are some of the common questions that you've had?
Oh, well, first off is I want to make a garden for my pollinators, so what do I plant? Interestingly enough, maybe because we're in London, we're getting a lot of questions about black walnut, what grows with black walnut. Yeah, so we have questions about what to plant, where to get it, so we're fortunate to have some of the native plant nurseries here with us.
Lorraine Johnson, who's written several books on native plant gardening and design and getting people really involved from that level. Lorraine, thanks for taking a minute.
Interest in native plants has exploded over the last 20 years, but you can see it like every year building, and that's the most inspiring thing ever. I think the message is getting out that environmentally native plants contribute so much, and native plant gardens really do have value, even if you have the tiniest little yard, and that message is getting out, and people are growing wild. It's so fabulous.
This is the Green Living Zone here, and as Ben mentioned, we are the City of London, and I work for Neighbourhood Children and Fire Services. My position is Supervisor of Community Development. So much of what I do is try and engage with the community and help neighborhoods become more active in their local parks and to take more ownership of cleaning up the environment where they live. So some of the information that we have behind me has to do with the Adopt a Park program, which is an opportunity for neighbors and neighborhood groups, businesses to get involved in cleaning up their local park and doing other projects in their park. And then I also have information about our Community Gardens program, which we have about 16 gardens on public land right now and 450 gardeners across the city growing their own vegetables, so providing food for their homes and also donating to the food bank in certain cases and helping to beautify the park. So lots of opportunities for people.
I would just like to say that it's not that difficult to find somebody to complain about a city anywhere, and there's no short of that here in London. But those are a lot of positive things. Are you getting a lot of positive feedback? Because that seems to be like a great reach, that you're getting people engaged with gardens and being outdoors and natural areas.
Exactly, yeah. We get a great response, I find, because we've got 90 parks adopted already, and we get more and more every year. We had 17 new ones just last year, and I anticipate we'll get at least that many this year. So people are really attached to their local green spaces, and we want to make sure they have every opportunity to do projects and get as involved as they want to be in their local green space, because the more people take ownership of those parks, then the better quality of life they'll have and the more enjoyment their neighbors will get out of those areas.
The most important part probably is to recognize it's great to be at the show and the partners that are here. So not only is it great that the city's here, but it's people like Try Recycling, Sifton Properties, London Hydro. They've all brought their booths into this green living zone to share the message that there are so many things you can do to green your lifestyle that are so easy to do. And we see evidence of that on a regular basis, whether more people are out there cycling, more people are carpooling. We know energy efficiency in households now is improving, and our statistics are showing that. So here at the show, we're hearing people who want to even do more, and that's the best part about being here, to make sure that we're grabbing those environmental ambassadors, helping them understand the good things that they're doing, and encouraging them to do more. So hopefully they'll encourage their family, friends, and neighbors to get involved if they're not already on these programs.
That's really well put, and we appreciate it so much. As far as this individual expo goes, what would be some of the common questions that you're hearing, or you know, what is kind of the flavor of this expo, which is the 4th annual, which to me looks like it's by far the biggest yet? What's kind of the feeling out there?
Well, I think people really appreciate that they can talk about the natural environment with many of the exhibitors, sponsors, and speakers, but they're also seeing that other side of the equation. What can I do to my home to improve energy efficiency? People are already beginning to think about how can they make sure the insulation is in their home, not for this year, but for next year. So they're asking questions about government grants. And right now, the provincial government has released a series of programs to have more energy efficient windows installed, geothermal installed, as well as more insulation in your home. So those are questions that may not have occurred on a regular basis in the natural environment, but here when we've got the nice blend, I think people are just thrilled to be able to get all their questions answered under one roof.
Council has been around for just over a year, and our goal is to improve the food system in the city and the county. And so we work towards increasing food accessibility, we work towards increasing the local food component, the accessibility of local food, and also food literacy.
We want to deal with things in a way that provides the least impact on the environment possible. So we're trying to encourage reuse. And that's our goal. So really today, by having this out here, we're trying to increase visibility and help people to see that Goodwill is actually an environmental organization, not just a thrift store.
Yes, we are consumerists, but Goodwill's job in all of this is that we are able to resell this in our communities so it can be reused, and in the meantime we're making jobs within our local communities, which is very important.
We brought in a lot of specialty items because we find that we've got a lot more customers that are asking us for native plants, so we thought it would be smart to make sure that we have some available. So what we thought we'd do is we'd focus on some smaller items that are natives. So not a lot of Londoners have a lot of space left for large sugar maples and red oaks and stuff like that. So we thought we'd focus more on smaller shrubs and understory trees that are both native and things that can offer some more food for wildlife in the neighborhood. So we've got a lot of items that are fruiting, so dogwoods, and we've got some currant and some elderberry. So, I mean, if you've got cedar waxwings in your neighborhood, they're going to be in your backyard enjoying it. Maybe you might get a berry or two.
Once we get started, so usually we have to kind of clear the land, get rid of the invasives to get going. So a lot of times we'll actually introduce a bee house just for the couple years to just kind of get something pollinating out there, because really there's not a lot going. So it'll take probably 2 or 3 years for the plants to establish. Then you'll start having reed build, and the bees will actually find native reeds, right? Till then, we're pushing the native, basically the mason bee and the leafcutter bee, because they like this style of house. So we introduce them. They build wafer systems. They build their nests in the wafer systems. Here's some larvae. I don't know if you can pan in, but here's some larvae from the mason bees. They're native to Ontario, so they're not like honeybees. Those are introduced from the Europeans. These guys are just pure native bees, and they're magic workers. One solitary bee will pollinate up to 100 honeybees. So they're kind of like a bumblebee.
So you guys are not just bringing back native plants, but you're creating a lot of the homes for the bees.
We're building homes for the bees, the bats, the birds. We're trying to set an ecosystem, basically a complex ecosystem.
We have a real mix of people. A lot of the visitors here today are already familiar with forest therapy, or they practice some kind of personal practice of nature connection at home, and others have never heard of it before. So I'm teaching people about the health benefits of nature, the scientifically proven ones, the intuitive ones, and I'm getting a real mix of reactions. But overall, when people come here, they smile, they slow down. I think they're really enjoying the greenery and the natural smell we have of the phytoncides, the aromatic compounds released by the trees.
Do any of the native plants specifically stick out for you in terms of treatments or values?
Sure. Well, elderberry is probably really up there because we already know it. There's a European version, but we have our native versions here. And it's so good for food. You can use it to make pies with, you can make syrups out of it, you can make it into a wine.
Nursery rhymes?
That's right, nursery rhymes too. But it's also really good medicine for colds, coughs, flus. So you can make tinctures or put them into alcohol form or as a tea. It's so healing for you. So it's amazing. And a beautiful plant. Like it's got the gorgeous round, like umbrella-like flowers in the spring, and then it turns into these beautiful berries. Gorgeous.
Right, so a lot of this knowledge was really common knowledge, not just with Europeans, but obviously indigenous people around the world. And here specifically in North America, the knowledge that still exists in a lot of First Nations communities is incredible. And we're learning a lot of this, we're sharing a lot of this, and so that's really great to hear. Can you give us some fascinating little tidbit about the work that you do at the Living Center? I've been there when it's been super hot, super cold. Yeah. This woman is out there, no matter the elements, a huge smile on her face because she's doing natural things and it's just feeding her soul and her body.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better. That's exactly what happened to me. I'm a landscaper. So I thought I was coming to the Living Center for permaculture, and then I got brought into this whole other world. Yeah, so very much brought me into the ecological side of things and just exploring the Carolyn and Forest region so much more. It's just a never-ending learning process.
Wow. Well, you're both very beautiful people, and we're so grateful to have you today and to have your booth here. So thanks again. The Living Center, thelivingcenter.com, brand new website, an amazing thing that most people don't know about in London and area. Check it out.